The quiet launch that no one announced it didn't begin with a stage, a live stream, or a tweet. There was no countdown clock, no laser lights, no promise of a utopian future delivered in under 2 minutes. In fact, most people didn't notice anything at all. On an otherwise ordinary weeknight, in a limited set of urban zones, a small fleet of unfamiliar vehicles began doing something that, until recently, was considered years away from being legal, safe, or even possible. They picked up passengers, they navigated city streets, they made left turns through complex intersections, and they did it without a human driver in the front seat. What made this moment different wasn't just autonomy, it was the scale, the silence, and the implications. According to internal reports, regulatory filings, and eyewitness accounts compiled over several weeks, Tesla initiated what appears to be its largest real-world autonomous mobility pilot to date. Roughly 2,000 Robotaxi CyberCab rides operating under unsupervised conditions, within tightly controlled geofenced environments. No flashy announcement. No viral moment engineered in advance, just cars driving themselves and charging customers for it. For years, autonomous driving has lived in a strange limbo. Promised endlessly, deployed cautiously, debated loudly. Waymo Cruise and others took a slow rules-first approach, LiDAR-heavy systems, remote oversight teams, city-by-city negotiations. Tesla took the opposite route, camera-based vision, neural networks trained on billions of miles, and an insistence that autonomy would scale not through rules but through learning. Critics called it reckless, supporters called it inevitable, regulators called it complicated. But this moment, if confirmed in full, suggests something else entirely. It suggests Tesla may have crossed an internal threshold, not one defined by press releases or SAIA levels, but by operational confidence, a point where the company believed its system was good enough not to prove itself on stage, but to disappear into the background and simply work. The first hints didn't come from Tesla at all. They came from users. Short, oddly casual posts appeared on forums and local sites. A rider describing a Tesla with no one up front, another mentioning a subtle cab style interior with a central display prompting destination confirmation, a third noting that the ride felt eerily normal, no steering wheel corrections, no safety driver interventions, just a car behaving like a competent, cautious human, except there wasn't one. At first, many assumed it was misinformation, or confusion with supervised full self-driving beta, which still requires a licensed driver to remain alert and ready to take over. Tesla itself has been explicit about that distinction for years, but these reports were different. Riders described doors unlocking automatically, start prompts appearing without driver authentication, ride receipts generated through Tesla accounts, not personal vehicles. And perhaps most telling, there was no steering wheel input recorded during the trip. Transportation analysts began paying attention when data points started to cluster. Multiple rides, multiple neighborhoods, consistent behavior, and critically, consistent phrasing in the user interface, language that suggested a commercial service, not a personal drive assist feature. Somewhere between rumor and confirmation, the question shifted from, is this real, to why hasn't anyone officially acknowledged it? The answer may lie in how Tesla views progress. Historically, Elon Musk has announced big ideas long before they materialize. But operational deployments, the kind that expose the company to legal, safety, and reputational risk, have increasingly been handled quietly. Tesla's manufacturing ramp-ups, software changes, and even pricing shifts often appear without warning, revealed only after they've already taken effect. This approach reduces backlash, limits speculative media cycles, and allows real-world data to speak louder than promises. In this case, the data would be everything. According to individuals familiar with the program, the CyberCab rides were not randomly distributed. They were constrained by time of day, weather conditions, and road complexity. Routes were selected for high predictability, but real traffic, no artificial test tracks, no empty streets at midnight. This wasn't a demo, it was a stress test disguised as a service. Each vehicle reportedly ran a specialized version of Tesla's full self-driving stack, optimized not for driver assistance but for end-to-end trip completion. That distinction matters. In a driver assist context, the system can defer responsibility. In a commercial ride context, it can't. Every hesitation, every awkward merge, every unexpected pedestrian becomes a systems problem alone. And that's where most autonomous programs have historically pulled back. Waymo, widely considered the industry leader in robotaxi deployment, solved this problem by brute force. High-resolution LiDAR maps, pre-mapped cities, redundant sensors, and a remote operations team ready to intervene when the car gets confused. It works, but it's expensive, slow to scale, and geographically limited. Waymo vehicles perform exceptionally well in the places they know. The challenge has always been everywhere else. Tesla's bet has always been different. Instead of teaching cars the world in advance, it teaches them how to learn the world as they encounter it. Cameras instead of LiDAR, neural networks instead of hard-coded rules, scale instead of specialization. For years, critics argued this approach would hit a wall, that without external redundancy and human oversight, the system would never be trusted with full autonomy. What these cybercab rides suggests is that Tesla believes it has found a way around that wall, or at least a door through it. Importantly, unsupervised does not mean unmonitored. Reports indicate Tesla maintained back-end visibility into every vehicle, tracking anomalies, disengagement probabilities, and system confidence scores in real time. But unlike remote driving systems, there was no joystick, no human ready to take over the steering. Intervention, if it occurred, would be limited to instructing the vehicle to pull over.